So that cheesy little smile was the fact that I heard that bird right there. Probably saying was good to me. I don't know. You could think whatever you want to think in life. I mentioned this before. You could think the world is flat. It's entirely up to you. So we're gonna start today. I've had a topic on my mind since, I don't know if it was before I went to bed, but since earlier. And we're just gonna talk about it. I don't mind having subjects to talk about now. It can help keep me within my time frame. Because now that I posted some long videos on YouTube, it's like, just try to minimize it. I like everything I say, but you know, sometimes I can't get carried away. So let's just see what we can do. And this is gonna work on my editing skills, because I'm gonna have to edit in specific things to reference what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm gonna talk about today is signs. Not sign language, ASL, I'm talking about signs. I've been watching a lot of children's Bible on YouTube. The cartoon version of the children's Bible, all beginner stories meant for kids. Because I'm still a child at heart. Bam, I got a new shirt today. Yeah. Keep my swag. Anyways, I watch a lot of children's Bible. So even if you really think about it, like when you hear God talking to people on these videos, because they're just, you know, reenacting stories, God will never actually pop his head out the clouds. His way of giving you a sign. So I have several scenarios in life when I could say that was a sign, like straight up. The first thing I heard, this was like at least 2002-ish, my pops told me everything happens for a reason. For those of you that know me, you know that me and my pops weren't even close at all. Pops left when I was 5. Everybody knows that. I'm sure it's in some of my songs. Pops left when I was 5. Had close to no relationship with them at all. But at the end of the day, he told me everything happens for a reason. The fact that I lived my life as an immature child my entire life, I still didn't see things when they happened as they happened. I didn't understand them for what they were. So certain signs that I didn't understand, a lot of times when you get these signs, you will not understand them until the aftermath. A later date. If something happens to you today that could possibly change the whole course of your life, regardless what happened, if it was good, bad, and regardless how you took it, you might not understand why that happened until months, sometimes years later. So this is where keeping faith, because I'm sure everybody believes it doesn't have to be God. Everybody believes in a higher power. I'm going to preach God because that's what I do, period. So there's a higher power, and there's reasons why these things are happening to you at these specific times. So one scenario, and this is going to work on my editing skills, is this gentleman by the name of Gary. I met him at 24 Hour Fitness in Monterey Park. At that time, I was writing my album, and I was all into Illuminati, because that's what Tupac was all about. When I wrote my album, I was 1,000% Tupac. Everybody knows I'm Kobe and Pac. But at that time, even though, and see, I guess it was probably harder for me to be, and I've never jumped off the bandwagon of Team Kobe. Team Kobe is in my blood since 2002. During that time, the Lakers were not doing well at all, which is why I started writing songs and doing stuff like that, because I need something else to focus on. It was all Tupac. I was all Illuminati, Killuminati. Reading into why is he doing Machiavelli? Why is this? Is he really dead? What really happened? Blah, blah, blah. Learning his story. Finding out new things in life. And that's what I was doing. Definitely, you could tell back in his days, he wasn't just like an old dude that was familiar with the block. He was an old dude that was running the block. And he was able to tell me so many stories and so many references and so many things about life in general. And then we exchanged numbers one day, and then he would text me, because obviously he's like 50-something. At the time, he was like 55-ish. And he's positive, and he's turned his life to God, obviously, because he's still alive to see today. I'm sure after what he's been through, goodness gracious, thank you, God, that I'm alive. So he's texting me Bible quotes, texting me scriptures, type of dude to say, I love you, brother. I love you, God bless. Like, just wake up in the morning and text me, hey, I love you. With that being said, I'm going to text him today. Maybe he's going through some stuff right now. I haven't talked to this dude literally in months. Probably even longer than, like, when I say months, I'm talking about months. Probably even longer. He might be going through something right now. So when I text him, you never know what it could do for him. Might be one of those other signs. I might be coming back to him the way he came to me. Long story short, he would text me every single morning, like, hit me with them, often, weekly, for the longest. And even when they stop, it's not the type of thing you would typically notice. So they did stop. But there was also one day when I was wondering, I don't think I asked for a sign specifically, but I said, how come random things don't happen to me? How come, you know, especially if you hear about shootings, you hear about high-speed chase, you hear about so many different things that happen in life. How come I'm not around to witness a fire? How come I'm not around to witness a high-speed chase? How come I'm never able to witness, even like when a motorcycle drives in between lanes, and some people just don't know how to drive. And some people really don't just see them. That day I thought, this is just thinking to myself, which makes me wonder, is God able to read your thoughts? I made a comment to myself, how come I never see anything outlandish like that? You know what I mean? So it's just something random. And I wondered, why don't I see these things? I hear about it all the time, see it on the news all the time. I don't see it. I got home safely, thank God. Went to bed. When I woke up, Gary texted me. Last text, so let's say, for example, I'll give you exact reference once I edit this. Let's say, for example, it was October 1st. His last text was like May 1st. So for him, the way that he texts me so often, and then for it just to stop. And then the one day that I'm like, how come I never get a sign, or how come I never see anything? Bam, that text. And it's a Bible quoted type of text. Pops right up. Dude, my eyes opened up wide. That guy's like, hey, dude, stop tripping, I'm here. Straight up. That's how it felt. That's a perfect sign for me. And that was all that I needed at that time. That's all that I needed. There has been other signs. The most biggest sign was after my first strike in my relationship, which I said, if you want that to come to light, put a comment and I'll bring it to light. And I had another sign, which is just the way that the relationship started. Because I was living in Palm Springs, she was living in LA. We only saw each other on our days off. It was typically the weekend. It's the only time we ever saw each other. A long distance relationship like that isn't always guaranteed to work out. One of us had to move to the other to try to make it work out. I came to LA. I didn't even show the tree. Now, I came to her, but I didn't move out on my own. I had her assistance. Not that I don't want to sit and talk and share this loving information with you guys. It's 12 minutes and 10 seconds. I got 40 something seconds left. I'm stopping at 13. I want you to know, don't look for the signs. And don't think that a sign will make itself known as soon as it happens. Live your life. If you live your life well, with good intentions, with great faith, and you have a positive outlook, I have a strong feeling that those... that's me. I can't help it. I have a strong feeling that those signs will make themselves known when the time is right. And you could look up one day and say, thank you, God. 'Cause that's what I do. 1303.